We have a story here that broke yesterday that's so beyond fucked up that I didn't even believe it at first. I had to read the headline over and over and go, no, really? No, that can't be the case. So, you guys remember Tamir Rice, I'm sure. We've covered his case in great detail. He was a 12-year-old boy who was outside playing with a toy gun, and the cop showed up and killed him in seconds. Literally seconds. So it's incredible. I'm sure you've all seen the video. It happened in the blink of an eye. Now, on the 911 call, the person actually said, be careful because it looks like this might be a toy gun. So I'm not sure it's a gun, and it might just be a toy gun. Now, you would think that that would make these officers proceed with caution, but one of them did not, and that one also had a history of psychological problems, by the way, where he broke down at a gun range one time because he was having a fight with his girlfriend or something, and he was crying at a gun range. And people were like, dude, what's going on here? And there were other examples of him kind of losing his marbles a little bit, so he shouldn't have been a cop. I mean, it seems fairly straightforward. But again, they just showed up and killed him. This guy showed up, shot him, and it was a very high-profile story. Well, what happened next is an outrage. We covered it. It's the fact that he didn't even get an indictment. The officer who killed him, not even an indictment. Now, everybody needs to understand something. When you don't get an indictment in a case like that, it's because the case was thrown. Guaranteed. Because indictments are beyond easy to get. You can almost indict anybody for anything. Because all you need to do for an indictment is just give your case. You don't need to give the defense's case where you say, well, here's what their take is, and this is why they think the guy's innocent. All you have to do is say, hey, here's why I think he's guilty, and just give a quick summation of why you think the person's guilty. So if it's even like an up-in-the-air thing, you're going to get an indictment. I got news for you. Showing up and killing a 12-year-old, at the very least, it's an up-in-the-air thing when it was a fucking toy gun and he was 12 years old, and the guy had a history of psychological issues, okay? But not even an indictment. It was absolutely outrageous. But today, it got even worse. The story got even worse. Quote, the city of Cleveland not only billed Tamir Rice's family for medical service fees, it went so far as to file a creditor's claim against them. City officials are charging the family $500 for emergency medical services rendered as the descendant's last dying expense under Ohio Revised Code. Oh, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. They billed his family for the ambulance ride when he was dead. This is the state billing his family for the ambulance ride after he died. And remember, he was technically killed by the state. The police officer is the state, represents the state. It's tax dollars that pays him. It's a government institution. So the state kills you, kills your son, there's no justice, and then they bill you for the inconvenience of having to take his dead body in an ambulance away. I can't figure out why people are mad. I don't get it. Guys, this doesn't look like a justice system right now. It looks like an injustice system. And then when you bring in other cases, you begin to lose your mind. Remember the affluenza kid? So keep the Tamir Rice case in your mind and compare that to the affluenza kid. The guy who was responsible for deaths, and he got off because he argued, no, you can't lock me up. I'm a spoiled prick. That was the argument. Hey, he was raised as a spoiled brat, and he's so rich that he doesn't understand the consequences of his actions, so you got to let him off. If anything, wouldn't that lead you in the other direction? Hey, he's a spoiled brat, he doesn't understand the consequences of his actions, and he committed a crime. Right, so now we need to send a message that, hey, you're going to be responsible for your actions. No, they went the other way. Affluenza, you're off. Kids get locked up for smoking weed all the time. But this cop kills a 12-year-old who's playing with a toy gun, gets off, and then the state bills the fucking family. We got to fix the system. We need police accountability. You know, it's not like there aren't ideas out there that would fix this. I mean, we floated a bunch of them in the great conversation we had with Michael Wood Jr., the retired Baltimore police officer who really spilled all the internal details of what goes on at departments like in Baltimore. And, we go through Black Lives Matter. Like them or hate them, they have very specific policy proposals that would address a lot of these things. One of them being independent prosecutors. Perhaps if this case had an independent prosecutor and not somebody who was directly involved with the cops and works with them on a regular basis, then we'd have somebody in jail right now. Or at least we'd have a fucking trial. So we have to fix the system. It's broken right now, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.